All right, guys, per your request, there are 4 problems on your practice test worked out for you. The first one you asked for was number 4. So here we go. First of all, you can't find the same base, so you're going to do log both sides. So the exponent always goes in the front. X plus 2, natural log 5. Over here, 1 minus x, natural log 4. Because I have 2 numbers in my exponent, I'm going to distribute the natural log 5. So I'm going to put x natural log 5 plus 2 natural log 5. And over here, 1 times natural log 4. I don't really need that 1. Not sure I wrote it there. Minus x natural log 4. All right, now to solve this thing, I need to get my x's together. So that has an x term, that has an x term. So I'm bringing the one on the right to the left. So I'm going x natural log 5 plus x natural log 4. And I'm also going to put the non-x's together. So I'm moving that one over. Natural log 4 plus, sorry, it should be minus 2 natural log 5. But don't forget the 2 natural log 5. The 2 really represents the exponent, so it's really 5 squared. So I'm going to put natural log 25. Now to solve this thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out the x off these 2, which is natural log 5 plus natural log 4. And over here, because there's subtraction, I'm going to combine them to make it easy for myself and combine them by doing division, natural log 4/25. Now to finish up, because the left-hand side says x times this, I'm going to divide both sides by that parentheses. Now to make it easier again on myself, because it is addition in there. Remember, when you do addition, you really multiply. 5 times 4 is 20. So what I'm punching in my calculator is actually going to be natural log 4/25 divided by natural log 20. I'll pause this and punch it in real quick. All right, once you punch that in, you should get negative 0.6117. So you can kind of punch it in to make sure you get the same thing I did. Next one, number 8. 2 logs added together equals 1. Remember, when you add logs, you really multiply them. So I'm going to say x squared minus 9x. I just distributed that x. It equals 1. Now, because there's no base written here, it's base 10. So there's really a base 10 here. So I'm going to do 10 to the first power equals that. 10 to the first power equals x squared minus 9x. So I'm going to put x squared minus 9x equals 10. Move the 10 to the other side so I can factor. And if you factor it, you get minus 10 and positive 1, which means your 2 answers are positive 10 and negative 1. Now, remember, you got to plug your answers back in your original equation to make sure it doesn't make a log negative. If I put a negative 1 right in for that x, that whole log becomes negative, so that's out. 10 looks really good, so 10 is the only answer. Let's go to the next one. Number 9 was your next choice, or your next pick. So number 9, this one I have subtraction. When you subtract logs, you actually do division. So I'm putting x plus 14 over the x plus 6, and that equals this log. I forgot to put the base over here. Now, once you do that step, when you have 1 log on each side, when that happens, you're allowed to just drop out the logs and set whatever they have with them equal to each other. So I'm going x plus 14 over x plus 6 equals x. I'm going to cross multiply here, make that x squared plus 6x. I basically took the x, multiplied it by the denominator down there. And I have the x plus 14 over here. That's not very good. There we go. Now, because there's an x squared, I'm moving everything over to the left so that I can factor it. And when I factor, I get x plus 7, x minus 2, which gives me my 2 x's of negative 7 and positive 2. And again, got to plug them in. If I plug negative 7 into that x right there, that log's negative, so negative 7's out for sure. I'm plugging in the 2 right now in my head. It looks really good, so x is 2. One more, and of course you pick 14. 14 says, you can read, we read it in class today, this is the money you start with, this is what it's going to grow to. Compounded continuously means we can do this. Part A says, what's the interest rate, which is basically asking you, what is K? Okay, so I'm going to set that up. Over here is what you end up with, 250465. 2000 is what you start with. E, I don't know what K is. It says it took 5 years. So 5 times K. First step is divide both sides. I'm trying to get the K by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by the 2000. And I'm getting 1.25 when I do that. And over here I've got the E and a 5K. Now to make the E go away, obviously you're going to do natural log both sides. So I'm going to do natural log of each side. And over here, obviously it goes away like we talk about, which gives me this. So my answer for K, which is really the answer to part A, is I'm going to punch in natural log of 1.25 divided by 5. and I get this. I get 0.045. So part A says, what's the interest rate? The interest rate is actually 4.5%. So that's the answer to part A. All right, part B, all it asks you for is what is the growth function. When it asks you for a growth function, it always wants you to write P of T, the initial amount, E. It wants you to put your K in there, which is 0.045, but because it's P of T, they want you to leave the T in there. Okay, that's the function. That's the function right there. That's all they want. Now, part C says to use that function to find the balance after 10 years. All right, so to find it after 10 years, that just means the time is 10. So I'm going to plug 10 in for the T. So I'm going 0.045 times 10 in my exponent. I'm just going to punch that straight in. And when you punch that in, you get $3,136. And don't forget those 62 cents. Okay, that's part C. And the last thing, how long will it take the 2,000? After how long will it have doubled? Okay, so I'm going to move all those. I have room here. Don't forget the shortcut we did this week. What we learned this week was when something's doubling, we can go ahead and start ahead and say, okay, if it's doubling, that means you're going to end up with the 2 over here because it's going to be twice as much as what you started with. And also you can just start with the E here. We know what K is. 0.04, I'll put K. 0.045, come on now. 5T, wants to know what T is, wants to know how long. So I'm going to do natural log of each side. Over here, again, it cancels. So basically, to get my answer, I'm going to take that natural log 2 and divide it by the 0.045. So I'm punching in right now. Natural log 2 divided by 0.045. Punch it up, get like 15.4 years to double your money. And that's all you do. Hope that helps. Y'all picked 4 good problems. Those are good. It's kind of one of each thing. So I'll be at school early tomorrow if you need any more help. Hope you do well. Study. Be safe tonight. See you tomorrow.